Alright, so WindWalking, let's get right into it. 2 set, 4 set. 2 set basically as we just go through our damage and rotation, we basically can gain a stack of 3%, stacking up to 10 times, basically 30%. Uh, that being said, that 30%, up to 30% only applies to Rising Sun Kick and Spinning Crane Kick. And then our 4 set, Fist of Fury, we can basically at the end of our 10 stacks get a 50% buff. Only thing is, let's say let's say we're at 8 stacks, right? We go into a Fist of Fury. We now have 10 stacks. We now get it. We remove the stacks. We're at 0. We have the big buff of Fist of Fury. Um, I'm assuming this buff is permanent until you cast Fist of Fury with it, because potentially you could be at 8 stacks. You Fist of Fury, and now you're at 10 stacks. You remove it. Now you're going through your rotation to get this Fist of Fury back up so you can use it. And now you're at, let's say you're already at 1 stack. Then you potentially could lose this because now you're at 1 stack. But I doubt that's going to be a thing. I'm assuming you're going to be able to hold for this the entire time until you use it. Okay, let's get into this. All right. So this season I haven't really enjoyed Windwalking too much. Been mistweaving 99% of the time. Done all 3 specs on 10s, but mistweaving is just a lot more enjoyable. Okay, so we're going to say we're doing Shadow Pan. This stuff, you're going to keep 80% the same throughout whatever build you're doing. And then it's just those little choice nodes up to you how you want to min-max your key, or how you feel more survivability, more utility, whatever it is. And we're going to say we're going to use Shadow Pan. Okay, so for every 240 energy you spend, unleash big charges of damage. Alright, so let's just go back to the 2 set. Our Rising Sun Kick and Spinning are the only ones that are actually getting buffed. And then our Fist of Fury at the end of this concept gets buffed. So really just 3 abilities, and really just 2 abilities are consistently getting buffed. Alright, so right off the bat, we have a Rising Sun Kick buff. Well, it's a buff for overall damage. It's not actual Rising Sun Kick damage. Increase your chi by 1. Sounds good to me. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the Windwalker tree. It's been a minute, so I'm just doing this from gut reaction. Um, so, that being said, do I want more Tiger Palm damage, or do I want a Blackout Kick crit? Some passive single target with cleave damage potentially from that, so let's do that. Obviously we're gonna get our spinning. Yep, we're gonna get that. Also with that, right there, you're gonna potentially get more rising sun kicks. They're gonna be buffed. Another thing is, I want to go over this real quick. Is if I understand this correctly, you're gonna get the 10 stacks, right? And then go down to 0. And then at some point in the very near future, you're gonna Fist of Fury into a big 50% buff, right? So what that means is after the key starts, and after you go through your first 10 stacks of this and activate this for the first time, for the rest of the key, I believe if I understand this correctly, you're basically gonna be sitting at a 6% buff for your spinning and for your Rising Sun Kick, because you're going to be very quickly Fist of Furying at 0 stacks or whatnot, and then immediately gaining 2 stacks. So if that makes sense, that's kind of cool. That's kind of like a really sneaky thing. Is uh yeah. So Fist of Fury, I have a feeling you're gonna Fist of you're just gonna do your normal rotation without thinking about this 4 set. So don't even think about this 4 set. But the more background concepts are, you're probably gonna Fist of Fury in the beginning of your stack count, let's say you're at 2 stacks, just doing your basic DPS. You go into a Fist of Fury. Then bam, you're at 4 stacks, and then maybe you click some other buttons, and you're pushing your way close to 10. So I have a feeling you're gonna potentially Fist of Fury once or twice to get to 10, and basically get 2 to 4 stacks right using one ability. And then once you use this for the next time when it's fully buffed, you basically are sitting at a 6% buff guaranteed. And you might already be sitting at 1 or 2 stacks with this buff, and then bam, you're already at 5 stacks or whatever. So overall, just gameplay seems pretty chill. Okay. Okay, Rising Sun Kick has a chance to equal blah blah blah. I think the more important thing is it has. Yeah, you possibly get a chi back. That sounds pretty nice. Um, so yeah, that looks decent. More, cause we're getting buffs from that. Um, we're also getting blackout kick buffs, even though blackout kick isn't as impactful. Alright, so then we'll obviously take hit combo. We'll do spirits. Again, I don't know if they've changed any node selections or moved stuff around. I don't know. Like in the Mistweaver video, I already knew the changes, but here I don't really know. So we're just going to go off kind of the basic way we typically do it. So we don't really have any synergy with blackout kicks, so I'm assuming we're going to ignore that one. And we'll typically go with that. We'll go with more, obviously we need Dance of the Chi, that's our burst. Okay, so I've been playing with this. I can't remember if that's the correct build, but I've been really enjoying this. Just another way to get chi. This is just passive AoE cleave, which I think we should get. Obviously, we want Strike of the Windlord. Alright, so if I understand, I think I've been typically in the past I would get this, but I think what I've been doing is getting both of the spirits, because the spirits right now are doing so much. Honestly, I feel like any of these could be good. I'll just go that. Rising Sun Kick reduces the chi cost. I want to. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is a good start for the tree. Let's keep going down. Okay, so one thing I haven't been enjoying about WindWalking is this 2-minute cooldown. So, one, it's quote unquote our biggest cooldown. I don't think it impacts our overall DPS as much as I would like a 2-minute CD to do. Also, there's no cooldown reduction. You've got hunters that have 1-minute CDs with cooldown reduction, making it possibly a 30 to 45-second cooldown and having more impact. That being said, I'm glad they're starting to buff the mastery, they're buffing our spinning damage, because this just doesn't hit as it should, in my opinion. Okay, so this might be one where you initially maybe you didn't get it, and you went with this, just for a little bit more chi resource gaining concept. Now with the little buff, I think we're gonna take this, and we'll see if we can still take this. I don't know. Obviously, we're gonna take that. Um, oh man, dude, it's been a minute. Only during has 100%. Okay, so we're definitely doing that. Man, it's definitely been a minute. Alright, so we'll take the haste buff. Okay, so this pairs really nice with everything. So we'll take that. Alright, what are we at? We got, wow, we still have 5. Okay, so obviously we need to work our way down here. So typically we would take this, we take this, we take this, and we take that. What are we at? Alright, so yeah, we're at that last one. Oh, wow. Okay, so, okay, I forgot about this. This was the first side note on Wowhead. So this feels like a fell rush concept. Um, wow, I'm pretty interested in that. Um, I'm just curious. So this is 138% like damage buff, 600% attack power. I don't know. I'm very interested in that. Yeah, that's really interesting. That being said, okay, so we do have cooldown reduction. Um, doesn't seem like much though. This might be a good passive. Man, ooh, this looks good also. I'm gonna go there. How about that? I'm really interested in this. Yeah, really interested in that. For the most part, this looks more or less kind of how I typically have it. Um, I wouldn't mind. And I don't have it up in front of me, but I wouldn't mind more blackout kick, just raw damage potential. Um, I know they've been trying to increase Tiger Palm's damage because we click it, 300 times or whatever in a key. Uh, but I mean, your Fist of Fury, your spin is going to be your main. Um, and obviously, I don't play WindWalking enough this season, but uh, and maybe I'm just playing it wrong, but hopefully Blackout Kick has a little bit more impact, and hopefully one day this 2 minute cooldown feels better. That's probably my most disappointing part of WindWalking so far. Is just this doesn't feel that good. Um, it's bad when this basically that's 30-second cooldown because it's cooldown reduction here. This 30-second uh, cooldown feels so much more impactful, so much better than a 2 minute cooldown. Just my thoughts. But yeah, um, hopefully just the simple raw mastery buff will get us across the finish line a little bit better. Because again, I'm not the best monk, but I swear I can pop my CDs, have a decent amount of procs, uh, and I can't compete with some of the other DPS in my group. And I'm like, I just popped every single thing. I even had maybe one or two, three extra procs of Dance of the Chi, and I'm still just fighting to be second, third DPS. But that being said, I don't really have any thoughts. We're gonna have to see how this plays, see how the mastery plays. Hopefully, I'm hoping with all these 2 sets and some of the tuning of 4 sets, hopefully everyone in the game can be more or less B plus tier, A tier. I'm really hoping this next season there's no C tiers. There's just no one that mathematically that below. Really hoping. I don't care if I'm B plus tier, as long as everyone in the in the ecosystem is a B plus A tier. There's no C or D tiers. Um, I think that's just better. I'm totally cool with S tier as long as there is an S tier with like C tier. I'm really hoping there's everyone's in the kind of the A and B, and that's it. And if you have a one or two, three flavor of the months, Blizzard trying to push you to play certain spec, then you know what? So be it. Um, Heck, it worked. Was it like one of the last seasons of Shadowlands? Uh, I made a survival hunter because I was so tired. I was even windwalking, and I was for the most part be able to keep up with every single DPS, and I just could not quite keep up with survival hunters, and it got silly because they would be 15 eye levels lower than me, and I just could not keep up with their burst. Um, but we'll see. Uh, for the most part, I'm looking at as monks as a whole. Mistweaver's looking really really good. Brewmaster's looking like just a regular brewmaster where um, it's one of those specs that I think you just got to be really skilled and knowledgeable about brewmastering to master it. And then windwalking is still pretty fun. Our 2 minute CD seems pretty freaking lame, and hopefully our new mastery change gives us a fighting chance. But that being said, it's looking like a decent season coming up.